we're going to go to the chat room because if you're new to this show, I do read the messages in the chat room and I do pick out certain ones in there to speak about and we talk about it and then we move on. But that's why this show was great because it's interactive. I just don't be talking just to hear myself talk. I talk because it's a purpose, but I also talk because it's for the people. And the people be speaking in the chat room, the Wait a Minute Show listeners, and I want to react to their comments as well. So, and we'll go off the tape right now, or off the rail right now. Angry Black Man is in the chat room. Again, as always, we'll appreciate him. And his question was, Jelani, can we officially bury the Detroit Pistons playoff hopes and season tonight? Give them a proper eulogy. Let me tell you this right quick, Angry Black Man. Let me tell you. I'm gonna do something right now. And I know the answer, but I'm gonna look at it right now so I'm official, on it. Detroit Pistons right now, 30-37, sitting in ninth place behind the Miami Heat, which are 36-32. So they are basically 5.5 games behind the Heat. Angry Black Man, I gave that eulogy about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's over. It's over for my Pistons. We fought the hard fight. And we tried with all our might. But despite our advances, despite our attempts, we are on our way home to that good old place called the off season. So yeah, I mean, I already let that go. I mean, Pistons are not catching anyone. No one else is even behind the Pistons is catching anyone. I would be utterly shocked if anything remotely came from the Pistons making a run. I mean, we're talking about the Heat, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. One of those three teams will have to completely fall apart and burn and crash for the Pistons to get in. So mathematically, yeah, they're still in it. But realistically, it's going to be another hard offseason. But again, I like what they did with the Blake Griffin trade. This wasn't a trade to make the playoffs, or well, it was a trade to make the playoffs, but it wasn't a trade, it wasn't like the Rasheed Wallace trade, Angry Black Man. I'll say that. When we got Rasheed Wallace, that was like, this is the final piece we need to make this move. So it's not that piece, but it is one of the first pieces in building to success in the future in the Eastern Conference. So, hey, yeah, to me, it's over for my Pistons. We're done, and I can't say anything else, on there. We got a lot of people jumping in the chat room, and we'll get to them in just a moment. But we appreciate you listening to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani, JB Bodie, and my co-host, Lopan, who does nothing in this world, but just somehow get women to love him. I don't get that. How does he get women to love him? Indeed. I don't know. But so we were talking about improper questions by the NFL. It needs to stop. At the end of the day, it needs to stop. It needs to be done. And because there's no logical reason for asking these questions. So I hope the NFL step in, and next time someone does something like that, it has to be a really harsh penalty, because people are going to still ask these questions if the penalty is not harsh enough. So get it real harsh, take a first round pick, and they'll stop asking questions quick. I'm going to say that one more time. Take a first round pick, and they'll stop asking them stupid questions quick. All right. So we're going to move on to a little PGA, the golf. Yeah, I told you we'll talk about Tiger Woods here in a moment. So Tiger Woods making some noise, making some news over the weekend. He played in the Valspar Championship, where he tied for second. He was in the running, to actually win, the event, but it didn't work out like that. But the biggest thing is that with Tiger Woods in this running, everyone, was talking about Tiger Woods. Everyone was talking about golf. Even, they were loving, the ratings. They were talking about how ratings were up, for this particular event, 190% year over year. So definitely Tiger Woods, one, being in the tournament because he made the cut. Two, him competing and actually challenging for winning the Valspar Championship helped out this whole weekend. So now the question begs, is Tiger back? Is it Tiger time again? And I asked the question to myself because I didn't see any of it. I got the messages, I got the notifications and everything that Tiger was in the running, Tiger was doing well, but now it's like, will I watch Tiger this weekend? Because he's supposed to be playing in, I think, the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And it's an event he's played. It's in a golf course he's very familiar with. And now people are wondering, like, do we have the old Tiger back? And I still haven't jumped on that boat yet. I still haven't jumped on that wagon yet to say that the old Tiger is back. But will I watch this weekend? Yes. I will take in a little piece of the Invitational this weekend and see if Tiger, can do it again. See if he got that mojo flowing like he used to have. Now, I don't know if he could ever get that back. That is very hard to get back because the level that Tiger was at, this was like going to Mars. It doesn't happen often. Plenty folks been to the moon. Plenty folks been to space. Very few has been to Mars. So that's what I look at it as. It's just, and I think maybe it's unfair that we put that level on him, but that's what he brought to the table for us. That's what those are the expectations that he set for himself, and of course he set for us. But I will be watching because yes, Tiger moves the needle. He is a guy for whatever reason. I mean, I have been wanting to play golf for a long time when I was growing up. And I did go play golf way before Tiger, got on the scene and everything. But I will admit, when Tiger got on the scene, it was like it made it easier to go play golf for whatever reason. I have no idea. But it was just like, you know what? I'm going to go play golf a little bit more, and get out there. So he does move the needle, I'm just being honest. Rated for Life said, man, Jelani, WSB interviewed this PGA dude about the Tiger bumping ratings, and he wouldn't give Tiger any credit. Said it was more about the new young talent in the game. You know what, Rated for Life? You just got to let some folks, they want to stand off to the side, and show that they got the shiny suit on, Diddy style. Take that. You just got to let them have it. Just be like, okay, step a little bit more over to the left for me a little bit. All right, cool. And then just let them have it, because over the weekend, after the weekend was done, well, even through the weekend, but even after the weekend was done, Fox Sports talking about Tiger, ESPN talking about Tiger. You even had other people in other sports talking about Tiger. So for that one person that don't want to give him credit, that's fine. Maybe they just don't want to get caught up in, they got caught up in the Tiger hype before they bought into it and then it didn't play out, the way they thought. But it's always going to be somebody like that. But we all know it was because of Tiger. Everyone wanted to see if he can do it again. The brother has had 4 surgeries. No, these are not, minor surgeries as well. So he's trying to come back from something no one else has ever come back from. That's an entertaining point. You're trying to see if maybe he can prep himself because everyone's trying to see how he looks so they can get a feel and an idea, because next month is the Masters. He's going to be down here in Georgia. I forgot, ATL, where the Wait a Minute show is done. But he's going to be at the Masters. You got to think, that will be a major that everyone will be looking at to see if he gets that, then this aura about Tiger even builds even more. And then we go back to where the starting point was, and it's going to be that Valspar Championship, where he made a run. There is young talent, don't get me wrong, that's in the PGA. But in any sport, there's a lot of talent in the NFL. But the one guy on top that everyone talks about is Tom Brady. Even though he lost the Super Bowl, people still talk about Tom Brady, regardless. A lot of talent in the NFL. NBA, a lot of talent in the NBA. But everyone talks about LeBron. They talk about KD, they talk about Steph, but everybody talks about LeBron. Hockey, I don't know who they talk about, but they talk about somebody there, I'm sure. Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky ain't coming through that door no more. So it's somebody else that got the range on that. Might be Ovechkin or something. I don't know. But there is one person that everyone talks about. Not Manchester United, but football, soccer, if you will. There's always one person that people talk about. So in golf, Tiger is that person. At one point, it was kind of like John Daly. Because everyone was like, is John Daly, going to get over his addiction? Can he come back? Can he, do this, do that? But yeah, Tiger makes that thing, move. So it is what it is. Don't let them get you upset, Raider for life. It is what it is. Now, moving on. We're going to get into a little bit of NBA news before we hit this NFL hard. And you're listening to the Wait a Minute show with your man, Jelani JB Bodie, on the 2 Live Stews Radio Network. So I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight live, and also the people in the future that's going to be listening to this as well. I appreciate you for tuning in. But the Toronto Raptors, here's my question for the people in the chat room. Is it different this time in Toronto? Is it really different this time? They are number one in the Eastern Conference right now. They are sitting at 50 wins, 50-17 right now. 4 games ahead of Boston, and Indiana, surprisingly, is in third place. I don't think anyone would have Indiana in third place. And surprisingly, the Cleveland Cavaliers is in fourth place. I don't think anyone would have had them in fourth place. And they are 11 games behind Toronto. So I ask you, is things different this year? You got your same nucleus of guys as far as like who you're going to depend on. And then that's DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. They signed Kyle Lowry. They kept him. Kyle Lowry, let me tell you something. I'm going to give Kyle Lowry a lot of credit because we all know, and some people will say it, some people won't, but Kyle Lowry was a pudgy little thing running around in the NBA. And he got his diet right, which I'm so happy. And you can definitely tell, because I saw him go to the basket hard one time and lay the ball up. And he gave the pose, the double gun show like I'm here. And I'm like, whoa, Kyle been hitting the gym. But also he been eating right. You can tell. That's going to help out this team, man. People have talked about how Kyle Lowry's been out of shape. People have talked about, he disappears, in the playoffs. That's a question, but we're not going to talk about that right now. They got guys, on their team, maybe that they didn't have, before. And young talent, very talented, players. But as you know, this thing, revolves all around, the two. But they got a guy, CJ Miles. I don't think people, really understand how important it is. What am I trying to say? I don't think people really understand how important it is to have that support. Not necessarily role players, but have that support. And not just it be about one guy two guys, you know.